Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm bringing you guys the finale of building Teth in LEGO. Yes, the time is finally here. The mock is going to be completed by the end of this video. A little bit of a longer one for you guys. I thought I'd kind of show you guys the ins and out of what I did with completing up the mock, just as it being the last episode of the finale. Thought I'd make it a little bit more in depth than some of my previous episodes. If you've been following the series, you would have known that it's been a little bit of a different type of build that I've never done before, and I haven't seen many other people do before as well. I'm also super happy with how the mock ended up coming out as a whole, but of course I'd love to hear what you guys think about it down in the comments. And of course the cinematic and a full walkthrough videos will be coming out in the following weeks of this update. So be sure to be looking out for those guys as well. I appreciate all of you who have hung around with me throughout this building series, but yeah, without any further ado, let's go ahead and hop right into this episode. Alright guys, just starting off the episode here, I got in a quick little haul here. First of all, just got a couple hundred of these 1x2 lavender plates to finish off the top area of the terrain up here. And then in this one I have some 2x6 lavender plates also for the terrain. And then I also just have a couple of light bluish gray slopes finish off the landing pad up there. I also decided to pick up some of this string just because they had it. So this is actually LEGO branded string that they've used in certain sets, and this is for whenever all the troops are kind of climbing up, they throw or shoot their cables up to be able to like climb up the mountain. So I'm gonna be trying out with this just to see if this will work for how I want it to. They only had this in this gray color, so probably want to be getting black, but I just thought I'd get it since it was only like $1 just to try it out. But right now I'm gonna go ahead and get to work on finishing up some of this terrain right here. So I think I'm gonna figure out exactly how I'm gonna do it, come back to you guys, and then I'll shoot a little time lapse of me finishing off the rest of this. Alright everybody, got a little bit of work here done, got almost, if not a little, just about halfway. But yeah, I'm really liking how this is looking from afar. It really blends it nicely. So basically what I've been doing is building up 2 layers of these 2x6 plates I have over here, building those up a little bit to create a little bit of a mound, and then just putting the 1x2 plates on top. The reason I had to do that is just because this was a flat surface, and it looked really weird if I had to try to make some detailing and some layering on just a flat surface. So doing this little elevation here and then kind of sloping it off on either side really adds a whole ton, makes it blend in a lot nicer. I am facing one issue though, in that I am running out of, here I only have this many 2x6 plates, and then I have this many 1x2 plates there. So I'm going to do my best to stretch it to the ends, but I'm not too sure how likely it is. I'll probably end up ending like right here. I can probably kind of skimp underneath the HT a little bit just because you won't be seeing that as much, but I'll see what I can do. I do plan on shooting a time lapse of me working on the rest of this, so we'll see how much I can get done. Alright, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that time lapse there of me completing up this top part of the terrain. As of now, the terrain is pretty much 100% complete. I also see that I got the trees back up. They've since kind of fallen off from other stuff I was doing. And on top of that, I've added in all of the grass that's going to be going in these little purple patches I had. And I think this looks absolutely fantastic. I did have to spread around the lavender grass that I did have just because I wasn't able to get any more of it. It was either really expensive or just not in the quantity that I needed, so I had to make do with what I had and just kind of spread that out. But I think even with the olive green grass, it looks fantastic, and lovely terrain as well. Since then, since the time lapse, I've done quite a few other things, pretty much all over here and over here. I did get a couple packages in, including some translucent pieces like these rocks and these rods here. Gonna try to make an explosion, just to kind of, add some other stuff to the battlefield. Plan on having it over here somewhere. Might add another one somewhere. Not too sure, but I definitely want to have one over there. So yeah, I've got those pieces there. Going to be working on that, and I'll show you guys my process of working on that as the episode progresses. And then right here I have some more pieces that go along with these pieces over here. This is enough to build 2 staps. They're just one of the old Lego ones that have no stickers on them or anything. So went a little classic with this, but yeah, these will be used to build staps that I plan to have somewhere on the mountain over here, just kind of with using some clear pieces just to kind of be floating right around here somewhere. So got parts for those as well. And you also notice I've got some string parts as well. So just got a ton of different black strings there, which I'll be using, of course, to attach the clone troopers from the mountain as they do in the actual battle itself. So I did have some of this gray string, which I might have mentioned earlier. I bought this from a store that I was getting some other parts from just to try out the string, and worked nicely. I just wanted to get it in black so it's more accurate to the actual show, and you can see it a little bit better just because the string blends into the mountain a little bit too much for me. So yeah, I got that string over there as well. And then over here, I've just kind of started setting out some sets and different things for actually preparing the battlefield, because believe it or not, we are just about ready to start laying this battlefield here. And so in here, I just have all the figures. I did end up ordering 10 more Phase 1 clones, so I think we have a total of around 20-25 in there now. Somewhere in between there. And I've also got Ahsoka and Anakin in there. Got some droids laid out here. Got a couple spider droids, which I should actually have in one of those staps bags over there. I should have parts to make more barrels like this one over here, just because these ones did have the stud shooters on them, so wanted to update those. Over here I just have some weapons laid out for the clones. Got a commander droid over there, and you may also notice I've got a gunship over here, which I had no real plans of including in this build, but after laying everything out, I realized I did need something up here, so I do plan on sticking this gunship up here. As you can see, I put a towel there already. I have it worked out exactly where it's going to go, and built these 2 little stands here, which just clip on the other side, which I'll show you guys whenever I'm putting it on for the final setup or battle. But basically built these with these little hinge pieces just so it can be at an angle. So it is going to be sitting up here at a slight downward angle, which I think will look really, really awesome. Just something to fill up that space and make the battle kind of continue up the mountain. Didn't just want to have droids up there, so we'll have some clones in there shooting back at the droids, and spider droids up there and stuff. So I know that was kind of a lot to take in such a short amount of time. But yeah, we're really getting to the finishing spot on this MOC. Just going to start, I think my next clip you guys are going to see is me actually putting the figures on the build. I do need to work on the explosion a little bit, so I might work on that first, and I'll kind of bring you guys through the process of me working on that as well. So yeah, without any further ado, let's go ahead and get right into doing that. So some time has passed and some things have happened. Over here, I've made the explosions that I talked about in the clip beforehand, and I am super happy with how these are looking. Got a bigger one down here, which I'll show you guys how I kind of went about building it after I show you guys the explosions themselves. But you got one down here, a bigger one down here, and then I wanted to add another one somewhere, and I had the idea of putting it around the ATTE, like up on it, since most of the droids are going to be focusing their fire down on the ATTE here. And so I want to have one kind of on the ATTE somewhere, or kind of on the mountain somewhere, and I managed to attach this one in a pretty peculiar way here. I don't know if I can really get a good angle about this, because I did a pretty good job of covering it up. So basically what I did is take one of these like backpack pieces that usually go on the figure to attach a backpack of some sort, and I basically took one of those and attached it to the brick with studs on the side that is holding all these together. Pretty much attached that, and then attached a 1x2 jumper there as well. And then I'm basically just slid that into the notch on the foot there. So a pretty unique way of getting that attached, but you kind of got to figure out unique ways that best suit the explosion. I kind of have a brick there. I originally tried to attach to the mountain, but couldn't really get the angles right, because like I was thinking like of a top angle shot or a bottom angle shot, you would have been able to see some like through the explosion, because not everything was covered, but seeing it on the foot kind of blocks that bottom angle. I'm still able to like have the explosion on all sides. So really happy with how that explosion turned out, especially. So my design for this is basically just taking one of these bricks with studs on all sides and putting a rod and then attaching these translucent orange rock pieces, really unique pieces, but they're great for explosions. So just attach those around in various ways and then just kind of put them together. For the bigger one over here, I just took two sections, just kind of placed them together, and then I haven't attached these at all, they're just simply sitting there. These translucent rods as well, which kind of add another level to it. So yeah, I couldn't be happier with these explosions. I don't think I really have enough translucent rocks remaining. I think I only have those two over there. I might be able to come up with something to add an explosion up here on the gunship, which I plan on adding up there. I'll see what happens when I get to placing those around. But there are also a couple other things that I've done since the last clip, and that is finished up the spider droid. So I added those barrels onto them to complete those, and then I also built a couple steps here. They are a little bit wrong, a little bit of different colored pieces in some spots, but that was just for ease of buying pieces and that sort of stuff. But still look great here, still look super good. And then I have some of these translucent rods here. Man, I'm struggling to say the word translucent today. I have these rods here that I plan on using to attach somewhere up on the mountain, so I plan on working on that next. Alright, so these steps have been added very nicely in my opinion. I just ended up taking out some of the mountain and sticking these clear rods in there and kind of just reincorporated the slopes a bit. I think it came out looking very nice. And then add the steps here. I have a droid on one. Then if you guys remember from the Teth scene itself, Anakin takes over pretty much all the steps, but I just have him on this one, and I have the droid kind of falling off there, which looks really cool. Just a nice little addition there just to make the scene a little bit more lively. And on top of that, I've added a few more things to the MOC, as we can see here. Got the gunship up there and kind of have some troops kind of laid out here just to kind of get a feel for how I'm going to do stuff. I do have a little bit more troops over here. I don't have enough to where I can make it a massive battle with tons of troops just running up here like I would have liked to, but with the price of these troops, I can't really get the quantity that I want. So to try to fill up some of the space, I do have droids on this side that I'm going to be continuing to add, just kind of fill up this side. Then I'll add in the rest of these troops over here as well and have these running up here as I already have them. Over here I have Rex and a couple troops lined up against the wall, as it is in the Teth MOC, as they're getting ready to actually grapple up the mountain, which I have a couple of grapple strings here with a couple troops climbing up, which looks really cool as well. Just a very something you don't see often in MOCs. So yeah, I got those guys down there. Also have the droid down here that's fallen off. If you watch the scene again, there's a droid that falls off, so I just thought I'd add him in there as well. And then up here at the top, have a couple spider droids. I actually have a spider droid climbing down the rock wall, which is shooting at the ATTE here. That's the explosion there. And a couple droids just kind of lined up here, leaning over and shooting down at the clones. And I'm going to be putting a ton more droids up here and maybe a clone or two more. I'll see, but I have the gunship there in the background as well, which just completely changes the MOCs, adds just a whole nother level of kind of chaos in there. And I'm super happy I decided to throw this guy in here. Like I said earlier, I got these stilts here that I used with those hinge pieces to give the gunship that angle, which looks really good. Alright guys, here I have the 99% completed Teth MOC, and I've really gotta pan the camera up on this one. I'm not really used to doing this and showing my builds, but as you can see, things have been changed from the last clip. I have a lot more troops than I initially had, and all the droids are up there as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you a quick rundown of what I decided to change and why. I'm not going to go super in-depth on all the details in this finale, just because I'm going to be doing a walkthrough video along with my cinematic video. So in that video, I'll go in super in-depth with all the little details and stuff I've done. But I do want to go ahead and explain what I've done here. And I've done something that many of you might not appreciate, and something that I really am against, because I'm kind of a perfectionist when it comes to MOCs. I try to be super accurate in everything that I do, but I have decided to use, if to come around to the side here, some of the realistic Phase 1 troops, and the decision really came with me wanting to fill up this battlefield, but not having enough of the animated ones. And I didn't really want to go out and buy more just because of the cost of them, and I already had a ton of these realistic ones. So I decided to throw those in there, and once again, you're kind of seeing the back of them from the front on, or from the front of the MOC, so they're not super, recognizable. And I do kind of have the main scene, so up here on the wall, I kept the animated ones. Up in the gunship, I have the animated ones, but then just kind of mixed them up down here at the battlefield, just to fill up that space. I also have only animated ones up here with Rex, so that's just something I decided to do. Some of you guys might be okay with it, some of you guys might be against it. I'm usually not really for these things, but under these circumstances, I thought it was an okay thing to do, and I think it looks a whole lot better with all the troops on there. You might also notice I decided to throw in some speeders, so I'm really doubling down on this because there weren't any speeders at the Battle of Teth, but once again, I wanted to fill in this battlefield, and if it was up to me, I would just have a ton of animated troops just running up here, but that's not really realistic, so I decided to throw in some speeders there to once again kind of take up the space and fill up the battlefield a little bit. I think looking back, it would have been better for me to do more forest and trees and vegetation areas, but that's not really possible now. I'd have to order a ton more parts. They don't have any grass left. I'm pretty much out of the purple parts. Don't have enough leaves to really do a whole many more trees, so it's kind of off the table for me to add any more of those. But yeah, have all these troops run up here, got the speeders, decided to throw in a little bit of a, lieutenant, whatever, there, just to kind of change it up a little bit. Those guys over there are the same. Got the ATTE up here. The guys climb up the wall. The staffs, as I showed yesterday, I got the shooting a laser bolt, and of course I got all of the droids up here, a couple spider droids, and the gunship there in the back. I do plan on adding, when I said 99% complete, I do plan on adding some droidicas back there. I have some of the droidicas from 2013, like in that battle pack, that like 2 trooper battle pack with the 2 droidicas. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about, but I'm not really a huge fan of how those look. And I could have made some custom ones from like I saw Rich Boy J had a good looking one, but this theme of the MOC so far is really just sticking to sets. I usually like to add some custom builds to my MOCs, but sticking to the sets this time, so I decided to order some of the older droidicas, ordered parts for those, so those should come in relatively soon, and I can add 2 droidicas there in the back. I also plan on adding a laser bolt coming out of one of these spider droids here. Just for some reason, for the life of me, I cannot find a red laser or like a red lightsaber blade, so don't know how that happened, but I couldn't find one, so I made sure to order a couple of those with the parts for my droidicas, so those should be coming in pretty soon. But that just about wraps up the MOC. I did do a little bit here in the back that I thought I'd mention, and that is just basically put some plates here along the side just to cover up these cracks, just because I noticed that sometimes the light bled through, so when I'm shooting cinematic video or something, I don't really want you able to see light coming through the cracks, obviously. So yeah, just blackening those out definitely looks a lot better. And while we're over here, just appreciate, look, this view is crazy. Definitely gonna get a lot of cool shots for my cinematic video, which I'm really excited to get to working on. Just have to wait for those droidica parts to come in. But that is going to be about the end of the finale of building Teth and this MOC series. So really hope you guys did enjoy this one. I know this one wasn't as super involved as some of my other ones. Just kind of skipped a lot, but in the end, I'm really happy with how this MOC came out, and I can't wait to record some B-roll of it and release that video. So really appreciate you guys hanging with me, and especially for those who are still here at this point in the video. Love you guys, but I will see you guys all in the next video. Bye!